Let's trade it with Scott Bauer, who's down at the SIBO, the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. So Scott, you want to buy Pinterest on the dip here, or too much at stake heading into a fresh company's earnings?
No, I really do. And Jeff hit the nail on the head with a lot of the metrics. And also what I like is he mentioned that last earnings or just recently, they raised their guidance as well. You know, that's going out on a limb for the executives of a company, especially a fairly new company, to go out and raise guidance, especially in this environment here. I like this a lot from a technical standpoint as well. Besides all that really positive fundamental news, from a technical spot here, Oliver, there's a lot of support in this stock just below where we're trading, around the 23 and a half level. So the option market's pricing in a little over a $3 move. I like that to the upside and maybe even a bit more than that. So I'm buying a pretty bullish call spread here going into earnings.
Okay.
I'm buying next week's, the November 8th expiration. That's because I don't want to just have one day to have this thing work out. You know, with earnings after the close today, that's why I'm not buying this week. I'm buying next week's options. The 25-30 call spread, $5 wide. I can do that for about $1.60, $1.70, somewhere in that range right here. You know what? If I'm wrong, okay, I'm wrong. I really like the upside here. And again, there's a backstop in this stock, 23 and a half.
So, okay, the backstop there I think is pretty interesting. We've seen the way this company does kind of floor out around the bottom that it's had post-IPO. Scott, when you think about the upside trajectory, given me and Jeff's conversation, right, this thing ran up to $36 in a hurry on the back of earnings. So we know that it moves on information that the market needs, because there's not a lot of information, right? We've only had a company here that's been around for less than a year, right, since the summer.
Which is the real surprising fact to me, that they would go out on a limb, they would come out and actually raise their guidance. So you're right, there's not a lot of historical data to base this on. The big numbers that we're all going to be watching for, like Jeff mentioned, monthly active users. You know, they've actually had way larger international growth than they have here in the U.S. So let's look to see if that U.S. growth has really expanded. The one headwind they may have, which I think Jeff touched on as well, is they get all or most of their revenue from ad revenue. They definitely have stiff competition with the likes of Facebook and others out there for that ad revenue. However, that is something that probably can be expanded on. I don't think there's going to be much of a downfall there. Monthly average user probably will be the big number for everybody to watch.
Yeah. Okay, Scott, nice work here on Pinterest. Before we let you go, I want to talk about what's happening in the market, because this really powerful move in bonds right now and another powerful move in gold as well seems to be the market viewing yesterday's events as being a return to a dovish type of backdrop, a lower rate trade that we know has been beneficial to growth, tech, but mostly the core macros right now are what are signaling this.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And also, you know what? There's a little bit of uncertainty in the news this morning after a lull, or after a 2-3 week span of some positivity between the U.S. and China. Another little monkey wrench coming in. You know, China coming out and saying, well, maybe we won't be able to get a deal ever done with President Trump. So, you know, that's putting a little bit of those risk assets at risk here. And that's why you're seeing a pop in bonds, pop in gold here. You know, but yes, the overriding theme to that is what Powell said yesterday, that, you know what, we're not going to raise rates unless we see that inflation number really tick up.
Yeah. All right. Scott Bauer, nice work here, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy.
Thank
at
you.
the floor of the SIBO.